I took a mental break a little bit at the beginning of like the last weekend, shortly after the last weigh-in, and so.
Can you describe the mental break? I'd love to know. Give me a vivid description of what this mental break looked like.
Yeah,
to the best of your recollection.
Yeah. Let's see. So I had a bit of a long drive, and on that long drive, I took advantage of the opportunity to stop by the gas station and grab a couple candy bars. And so at the same time, I did something that also, would never have happened in a previous life, and that was I grabbed some protein sources. It was like in the refrigerated section there was the meat and cheese, packet. So I tried to moderate by also filling up on protein. So I guess I got a little playful with my
now, just to interject on the filling up on protein with the two, I assume they were two. I think that's the number that you used, were 2 candy bars. I don't know if that was an approximation, an exact figure, an estimate, or was it 2?
They weren't small candy bars.
Around 2.
2 large candy bars.
They were not small.
Yeah.
I got you. Okay, big ones. So 2 big, large candy bars. So normally, if you stopped at the gas station, if you were not following the diet, please tell me you would have consumed 3 large candy bars and no protein. Because if you added the protein to just 2 large candy bars, which is what you normally consume, you would actually be eating more than what you would on a normal occasion when you weren't following the diet. I just want to make sure that maybe we're doing some substitutions. Like instead of 3, we have 2 and the protein. So that way we're shifting calories more towards protein and away from the carbs.
Okay. Yeah. So I should probably, so this was on my way to my boys' football game, which is far away. And so, let's see, I was coming from the other side of town and I was traveling alone. And so, let's see, I'm trying to figure out how all this happened, but I needed a meal and I wasn't going to be able to have one for quite some time afterwards. So I knew I needed to have some protein at some point. So I did get it by stopping there. And then, but I was also, craving something else. And so I fulfilled both of those desires or needs by doing that. And so, if I was to go to it like in a regular situation, if I was to just stop by the convenience store, it wouldn't probably be this place I would go for a meal, but like if I wanted to, in my previous life, get a snack from the convenience store, I could easily do more damage than 2 candy bars.
Well, I'm going to say something totally outrageous here, and you might find me completely out of my mind, but you likely will. But when I'm in a situation like that, and it's probably because of the way that I eat versus the way that you have eaten for many years, but I actually will walk into a convenience store and I will find a cookies and cream protein bar, which has significantly less calories than what I presume the kind of bar that you picked out would be in comparison. And it has lots of protein, like 28 grams, maybe 30 grams. And I consume that with joy. I don't know why. I mean, I'm just classifying me as totally out of my mind, and it's probably because I don't on a regular basis, by any stretch of the imagination, consume the kind of bar that you ended up walking out of the store with. So when you compare the two, yes, we're coming from totally different perspectives. But would you be willing in a situation like that to delve into maybe I go with one of those bars, those giant whatever kind of bars that you had that you walked out of the store with and enjoyed, I'm sure, on that drive of yours, and then a protein bar, like a strict, those protein bars that do have flavor. I mean, they come in a variety of flavors, which to me, for some odd reason, I really get excited about. But it's again, it's all relative to what it is that I'm normally consuming. Those to me are like candy bars, depending on the flavor that I choose. And I've had a couple or three of them that I really do enjoy. I kind of crave. I'm kind of craving it right now, to be honest. So I'm wondering if you could give that a shot, where because those protein bars are high protein. I mean, 30 grams for one bar. If you had two of those bars, which I know now I'm really crossing the line to say replace two for two. We started with one of those protein bars and one of the other canned snack bars that you ended up walking out with. That would be a great concession on your part, and we would be compromising towards something that would still help you to reduce the amount of carbs in fat in the diet, and replacing that with protein, because those bars are, you consume two of those at 60 grams of protein. That would be enough for a meal. That's usually what I do, is I have two of those or 60 grams of protein, have some carbs, some fat, but relatively speaking, everything is good with that for a meal. Not going to be any negative consequences of that because the protein's so high. But if you were to replace one of those bars with one of those protein bars, if you were in a situation like this in the future, is that something that you would entertain at the very least?
I'm I'm here for help. So at the same time, I need to be sold on things. You know this about me, and I'm not an easy sell either. So I've had experience with trying things. I remember 100 years ago when I found one single type of, I believe it was the metrics bars back in the day, that there was one flavor that I could tolerate at that point in my life, and somehow that has gone by the wayside. I don't know if that brand even exists anymore, but I know that they stopped making that particular one at some point. So I'm a little skeptical and quite honestly fearful when I think about, I'm sure there maybe have been advances in the last long time since I've actually taken weight loss very seriously. So I'm hopeful, but at the same time, I'm cautious in what we're talking about when you mention cookies and cream protein sources. So I would be open to having like a small taste test session with you, to sample a few different flavors of options that you think would actually possibly work for me. I don't even necessarily need a ton of variety. If we find something that works, I could probably just be good if it's just like one thing that actually doesn't make me really sick to myself,
Yes, I don't want that to happen. I know that could derail you quickly. You could walk back into the convenience store and walk out with three of the bars that don't have any protein in them. So
yeah.
I don't need to have this work against us in any way whatsoever. So I've had good luck with the chocolate chip cookie dough, I must say, protein bar. I think that is my favorite. I don't remember what the brand was. I just go in and buy. I don't even pay attention. I just know that it's what it looks like, and I grab it and sold at Sheets, so I'm able to get it quickly, and it's always there. So I will check out to see what the brand is. I would be very interested in you trying it. If we could find one, or God help us, two that you could
I'll take more consume, if it works.
That would be, I would love it. I would absolutely love that to be an option, because then you're significantly reducing the amount of empty calories, and replacing that with protein, high protein. So that would be fantastic if possible. Would also, the other option is, of course, cut down on the candy, the bar to one versus two, and load up on something like beef jerky or some meat, some high protein snack that you like, that you really do enjoy. That you can, even cheese, even though cheese does have carbs. I'm looking to try and shift away from the really dense carb and fat combination that the bars that you chose more than likely have. I'm not going out on a limb with this, am I?
No, that's a safe call there.
Okay.